Hi, guys. A couple of weeks ago, I put out a copy of one of my books that I read out loud in a video and asked all of you to try your hand at illustration. I got a lot of great illustrations back. I love them so much. And I thought we'd try it again this week because I happen to have another book that I've written that doesn't have any pictures yet. This story was written mostly by me, but a bunch of my current fourth graders helped me with it last year when they were third graders. And we learned a lot about writing stories and how to edit your own work and make some good choices about what words you choose to make the book sound more exciting or more interesting. So this week, I'm going to read the book and it will go page by page so you can listen to the whole thing through and then stop it on each page if you're interested in illustrating that page. But I want you to be thinking about whether or not you are helping to make the book more interesting with all of your illustrations. Let's see if you guys can do it. Here we go. The Too Scary Story by Ms. Quinn and some third graders. Saturday. Nothing was better than a Saturday morning, according to Opal Anderson. Saturday was Opal's day with Grandpa, who not only made the best pancakes ever, he followed them up with endless stories about the incredible, the amazing, the unstoppable Tippy Tenacious. Grandpa had spent all week planning out hazardous hijinks and narrow escapes for Tippy. Tippy had traveled all over the world. She'd tracked bird migration through barren deserts, climbed the sheer cliffs of countless mountains, and even flown through outer space. Tippy's tale was filled with all types of thrilling peril. Sometimes she went out as a spy in disguise. Sometimes she rescued misplaced penguins from circling alligators. Sometimes she stopped crime in its tracks. The best part about listening to Tippy Tenacious's story was the sound effects. Speeding cars went meow. Roller coaster cars went up ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk before racing down again with a great whoosh. And ominous piano music played plink, 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 plink. Everything about Saturday mornings in Tippy Tenacious was perfect. Until the day Opal's little brother Orion was old enough to go to Grandpa's house too. Grandpa began with Tippy Tenacious headed up a gravel driveway with a crunch, crunch, crunch. Orion put his hands over his ears and said, "Too noisy!" When Tippy peeked over the railing at the top of the world's tallest building, Orion put his hands over his eyes and said, "Too high!" When Tippy realized she was being followed by a nefarious no-good, Orion put his whole head in his lap and shouted, "Too scary, too scary, too scary!" until Grandpa suggested they play cards instead. Opal had never had such a disappointing Saturday. That night, Opal asked her mom, "Does Orion have to come to Grandpa's next week?" Her mom said yes. The next day, Orion was too scared to play outside because a fly buzzed too close to his head. Opal asked her dad, "Why is Orion scared of everything?" Her dad said, "Everybody gets scared about different things in different ways." She asked both her parents, "Why do I like exciting stories so much when Orion thinks they're too scary?" Her dad said, "Some of us like scary stories because they help us think about what we would do if we were in a scary situation. For other people, scary stories just make them think about more scary things." "Can we make Orion not scared anymore?" Opal asked. "No," said her mom. "He might grow out of it, but we need to be patient either way." Opal tried to be patient, but the more she tried, the more she thought about Tippy Tenacious. She thought about it when they lost their mom in the grocery store. Orion started to cry, but Opal said if Tippy was here, she would ask for help. She led them to a store clerk who called their mom over the loudspeaker. When Orion was too scared to sleep because he thought there might be a monster in his closet, Opal said if Tippy was here, she would look for clues before jumping to conclusions. She turned on the lights and checked the closet. There was no monster, and Orion went to sleep. When a thunderstorm rolled through town midweek, Opal remembered how Tippy Tenacious figured out how far away the storm was by counting. Orion was so interested, he forgot to hide under his bed. Tippy Tenacious came up so often, Opal hardly said anything that didn't begin with Tippy Tenacious. Meanwhile, everyone got really good at Go Fish. Eventually, Orion started to ask what Tippy would do if she had to take her laundry down into their scary basement, or take swimming lessons, or walk past the neighbor's barking dog. Opal happily answered. He also asked what Tippy would do if she was invited to a birthday party at the carnival, with clowns and Ferris wheels and roller coasters. Eventually, after many, many weeks of card games, Orion asked Grandpa if he would tell them just a little bit more about Tippy. Grandpa raised his eyebrows, looked at them both carefully, and said, "No." "No," Opal wailed, but Grandpa had a mischievous look in his eye. "Nope, because the story isn't only about Tippy anymore. She's got a new sidekick named Darren Doublecheck." Both Opal and Orion sat on the edge of their chairs to listen. From then on, forever after, the adventures of Tippy Tenacious and Darren Doublecheck were twice as good.